All right, and here we are with chapter 11. We are finally on Rome, guys. We're on the Roman Republic. So, lesson 1, geography and the rise of Rome. The geography of Italy made land travel difficult, but helped the Romans prosper. So, we're going to take a look at lesson 1, geography. So, Italy is surrounded by water on 3 sides, so that makes Italy a peninsula. And the 3 really main seas around Italy are going to be the Tiberian Sea, right there, kind of off of Rome. We're going to have Ionian Sea, and then the Adriatic Sea. So those are going to be 3 seas. We'll kind of get to those eventually, but let's take a look at what made the geography of Rome help the Romans prosper. So we have 2 mountain ranges in Italy as well. We have the Alps Mountains in the north, and then we have the Apennines Mountains kind of there in central Italy. So there are those 2 mountains in. I'll let you guys fill those in, and you're going to see why the geography of Italy really helped, like I said, the Romans prosper. So Italy is going to experience cool, wet winters and warm, dry summers. You can take a look at the graph right here and kind of just see the Rome average monthly temperatures, and it's going to rain a lot kind of in the winter months. So Italy is also going to have a surplus of crops. Now remember, surplus is going to mean more than enough. Because of their climate and their geography, they are going to have more than enough and a surplus food supply. So with this, they have a large population and food supply because their climate is going to benefit their civilization. So I believe one of my other teachers is going to step in and do the hot question. Remember, Italy is a peninsula, and the cool, wet winters and warm, dry summers. So we'll let Miss Hodges come over here. Oh, man, she is flying.
All right, hot question time, guys. Name a civilization that we have studied this year that has a similar geography to Italy. How did the geography of both civilizations impact the people who lived there? So this question asks you for what is like Italy, and then how does it have the same impact on the way that people live as Italy? So we're looking for something in common with this civilization. This is going to be 3 sentences. Now, please be sure and give solid answers. We're working up toward FSA. We want to see capital letters and periods. We need you to be giving your best effort so that this becomes a permanent thing for you to use capital letters and periods at the end of every sentence, okay? Every sentence. All right, so we're looking for at least 3 up to 5 sentences that could answer this question. And then moving on to Rome's first family. So we kind of want to talk just a minute about how did Rome get to be here and the founding of Rome. So Rome's first family escaped from the city of Troy, which was over here, and I'm not sure you guys can see that, so let's do this. Troy is over where Persia would be, right there on the side going toward the Persian Empire. And Aeneas is the name of the king who was there. Here's his name right here, Aeneas. He was a king. And he left Troy and brought his family to Italy. Not to Rome, he brought them over to Italy because Rome has not been founded yet into the Italian peninsula. And then Romulus and Remus came, and these are 2 twin boys that came after after Aeneas got there, and they're his descendants. And these 2 guys are going to be instrumental in creating the city of Rome. Romulus is going to name it after himself, and Remus actually dies after getting into a fight with his brother. And the Romans love these stories, and they love to tell great stories, just like the Greeks did with the myths and fables and epics and things like that. So here's the myth and that surrounds the beginning of Rome. So, we need to be able to see it. So let's put me right down here. So Aeneas brings his family to Italy. And then he has descendants, Romulus and Remus. And these boys are abandoned as babies. And a wolf finds them and she raises them as her own. So these two little guys are born and then they're abandoned and they live out in the wilderness raised by wolves. And I know sometimes your mom may say, "What are you, raised by wolves? Leaving your stuff everywhere and leaving the door wide open?" But these two guys actually were raised by wolves. And so one of the things that comes from the story is, as adults, these two boys, they're rescued. They don't live with the wolves forever. They're rescued by a shepherd. And the boys grow up to be men. And they decide that they want to build a city where they were rescued by the shepherd. And so they want to honor him and they decide they want to build a city. But they're not getting along very well because one wants to put a city on one hill and another one wants to put the city on another hill. And where Rome is built is surrounded by 7 hills. And so they were fighting over which one was the best place to start the city and the best place to put it. So they begin to fight. And these two brothers do fight, and it works out that Romulus actually kills Remus. And so he kills his brother. And since he killed his brother, he's the only one left who could start the city of Rome. And he actually named it after himself, so which is where we get the name Rome. So this was a story that would be told, a myth that would be told around campfires and different places like that about how the city of Rome was founded. And then Romulus actually crowns himself, let's move me out of the way, he crowns himself king of Rome. And the city of Rome begins as a monarchy. And it is going to be a monarchy for a long time until we get to the change in government and it starts to become a republic. So that is the myth, guys. Now let's see what Miss Tickle has to tell you.
Okay, you ready? Happy Valentine's Day, guys. Even though by the time you watch this, it might not be Valentine's Day anymore. Happy Valentine's Day. Okay, but now we're going to talk about reality. Okay, I'm going to bring it back down. We're in reality. We're in real life here. So, early people settled along the Tiber River for good farming soil. In the 700s BC, the Etruscan people settled in Rome's location. Greek and Etruscan settlers brought their culture to the area and mingled with the Latins that were already there. Over time, the small farming settlement grew into a large city. Remember, Mr. Kennedy explained to you about how great the geography was there and how the climate was really good and they had a surplus of crops. So living in Rome at that time was a good life. It was very easy for them to be able to do that because they had plenty of food, plenty of resources. So this is your hot question. And now my face is covering your hot question. Where should I move to? You guys want me over here? You want me over here? No, I'll go back over here. Okay. Oh, no. I don't know. Okay. It's just going to sit there. Okay. Hot question. In the myth of Romulus and Remus, after Romulus killed his brother, he is crowned the first king of the city of Rome. What does this tell us about the characteristics Romans think are important in a leader? If you have to, rewind and listen to what Miss Hodges told you about the myth and what happened between Romulus and Remus, and then you are taking your thinking up a little notch to think about what characteristics Romans think are important in a leader. We need vocab in there. We need to see a minimum of 3 sentences. Do not start with pronouns. Restate that prompt. Watch your capital letters. Watch your punctuation. Remember, all of those things earn you the points in FSA writing, which is coming up. And while you're at it, when you finish, you should pull out your grapes and fill in the information. That way you stay on pace and don't get behind. Okay? I think that is all for me. Yep, that's it, guys. We will see you in class. Have a lovely weekend and